all, this is Fernando with the Core Dallas Real Estate Group, and today we're going to give you an overview of the home buying process. We'll use material from our presentation called Home Buying Made Easy. To give you a little more information about us, our team, we have 30 years of combined industry-related experience, and we've been collectively licensed as real estate agents in Texas for 12 years, and we've participated in over 300 real estate transactions. Now, if you'd like to learn more about us, you can visit us at coredallasrealestate.com, and you will find our full bios. And we also have various social media accounts, Instagram, a Facebook business page, and a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. Today we'll be touching on financing, how to locate a real estate agent, touring homes, submitting offers, explain the aspects of earnest money and option fees, talk about property inspections, appraisals, and the best part would be closing, where you become a happy homeowner. The very first thing you'd want to do when you start your home search is get pre-approved. Research multiple lenders. Choose a lender that you think will best meet your financial needs in terms of interest rates and lender fees. You really won't know the true factors until you actually start the application process, but by interviewing lenders, more than one, you can get an idea for which one is going to best meet your financial needs. And for yourself, do this in conjunction when you're talking to lenders. Figure out your budget. Figure out what you're comfortable with as far as a monthly mortgage payment. That includes principal and interest. It includes taxes, and it includes insurance. Convey that to your mortgage lender. That way they can give you a pretty solid figure on what your sales price should be, right, to meet what you are comfortable with as far as a monthly mortgage payment is. And with regard to down payment and closing cost, those costs you have to be prepared for as well. Typically what we see is those costs generally run about 7.5% of the total purchase price. Again, those costs can vary, right? Each lender charges different types of fees. So speak with your lender, get that directly from your lender, and this is just an estimate here. In this example, we factor in a $200,000 purchase price, multiply that by 7.5%. Closing cost and down payment would be around $15,000. So that's what you would have to come out of pocket with. Again, this is just an example. Your mortgage lender can give you very definite costs when it comes down to total out of pocket closing costs and down payment amounts. Once you receive your pre-approval, the next thing is to find an agent if you haven't been speaking with one yet. The best resource I would recommend is talk to family or friends, someone that may have purchased a house recently. Get recommendations from them, because if an agent did a very solid job for them, the odds are that they will do the same for you. In today's environment also, I see a lot of consumers find real estate agents online. So you should be able to find online reviews when you're selecting an agent to kind of help you make that decision if you choose to find one on the internet. And again, qualities to look for in an agent are experience, responsiveness, how fast are they responding to you from your initial contact, and I would also check to make sure they have local market knowledge in the neighborhood that you're interested in. Once you select an agent, your agent will set up a search based on your desired criteria. That can be a certain neighborhood that you're looking in, a home size, number of bedrooms, and your agent will coordinate with you based on your schedule to show you those properties. And now with today's internet-driven market, we're seeing a lot of consumers browse on their own, find properties, and convey those properties to their real estate agent. So be a two-way street here. Your agent will send you properties. Feel free to send properties to your agent as well that you're interested in, that they might not have found yet. And your agent should pull those up, do the research for you as well, and schedule those as far as showings go. So now we're here. You found the home of your dreams and you're ready to submit an offer. By this time, your agent should be very ingrained in the process and checking recent comparable sales in the neighborhood to make sure the home is priced where it needs to be and that you're not over offering on this property. But again, there are situations where you may have multiple offers on one property, and depending on how bad you want that home, you may have to come in over ask. Each property is different, each scenario is different, so you will have a different discussion for each property that you're interested in. So in this example, let's say that your offer was accepted. We will always recommend to our clients to get an inspection by a licensed inspector. Even on new builds, new construction, we see that even those properties have details that come up on inspection reports. This is very important for the buyer, for your protection, to make sure you are fully aware of what you are buying. And also, repairs can be negotiated within the option period. So we will discuss a little more about the option period on the next slide. Once your contract is accepted, earnest money and the option fee have to be delivered. Your real estate agent should deliver these to the appropriate party on your behalf. So in the previous slide, we did touch on the option fee, and all that is money paid by a buyer to a seller for an option. So whatever the option time frame, whatever is outlined in the contract when you submitted your offer. So generally what we see option fees in the realm of $100 to $200 and option timeframes on average around 7 days. So that option timeframe gives the buyer time to do an inspection and negotiate repairs, right? Should something come up on the inspection report. And the seller doesn't always agree to these repairs, so if there's something that the buyer just doesn't feel comfortable with, they can terminate the contract within their option period. Now, that option fee is forfeited, but should the buyer continue with the contract, just depending on how the contract is written, that option fee can be applied to the buyer's cost. The next item we'll speak about is earnest money. Now these are just funds that the buyer deposits with the title company, right? So all it does is indicate the buyer's good faith in the real estate contract. So normally what we see is 1% of the purchase price would be earnest money. So if a property costs $250,000, that's the offer, then the earnest money would be $2,500. Now in cases where a buyer terminates within their option period, that earnest money is refunded to the buyer. Again, the buyer loses the option fee, but it's a nominal fee when you compare it to the earnest money, but they get their earnest money back. Now, in cases where the buyer terminates the contract, but it's after the option period, at that point, everything is forfeited, right? So they don't get their option fee back and they don't get their earnest money back. In cases where a buyer proceeds with the contract, that earnest money is applied to their cost at the end. So it's very important that you stay in communication with your agent within that option period to make sure that if you have to terminate for whatever reason, that you're terminating on time and you're not exceeding the option time frame. So at this point, the buyer has exceeded their option period, that's expired, and they've negotiated all the repairs with the seller, and everyone is happy with the terms. The bank will order an appraisal on the property. So they send out a licensed appraiser to confirm or give an opinion of value. So the reason they do this is just to make sure that the amount of money that they're lending the buyer meets the value of the home, because they don't want to lend more money than the property is worth, because that can put them in a pretty iffy situation. So once the appraisal is ordered, generally takes anywhere between maybe 3 to 5 days for the appraiser to put together their report and send that back to the lender. If the property meets value, right, no other negotiations need to occur, right? The seller doesn't have to reduce the sales price to meet the appraiser's value, nor does the seller have to ask the buyer to cover the difference if the appraisal comes in lower than what the sales price is. So there's no additional negotiations needed in this example. Let's say that the appraisal met the value or the sales price of the home. So then the file will move over into closing. Closing is pretty much a process where title transfers from the seller to the buyer. So you normally complete the closing process at a title company, and the process probably takes anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. There's a lot of documents to sign, so I will warn you about that. But once everything is signed, congratulations, you're a homeowner. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us today and letting us explain or give you an overview of the home buying process. If you need to or want to learn more about the agents, visit us at CoreDallasRealEstate.com. Select the link Meet the Agents, or you can follow us on Instagram at DallasRealtor_CoreDallas, or like us on our Facebook business page. And last option is subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for spending time with us, and we hope to hear from you soon.